go. Get ready to have a good time. This is exciting, isn't it?
All right, we're on. Hello, testing.
Welcome aboard the Dreamliner.
It's the only way to fly.
I've allotted 1 hour for recreational activity. There's no time for irrelevant conversation. Fun will now commence.
Garry.
Here's a young speaker who is really in demand.
Don't let that go to your head, Garry.
But wait, there's more.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's Garry Meier.
Hey there, GarrForce. It's the Friday, November 12th, 2021 edition of the Garry Meier Show, Cocktail Hour Live.
Cocktails, woo, drinks.
We went wheels up at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and yes, it's dark outside the window of my control room. It's also after sunset at 5 Central, and not so much yet at 4 Mountain, 3 Pacific, and so forth. Of course, no matter where you are, it's time for a digital mimosa. Thanks for streaming with us. To keep Gary's special guest, comedian and actor Richard Lewis in our virtual green room for as short a time as possible, and heck, I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see his only appearance on HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm this year, let me just let those new to our show know how all this works. Garry podcasts 5 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday podcasts are complimentary. Tuesday and Thursday podcasts are available to premium subscribers. Check out GarryMeier.com for more and to join up. Download his app in the Apple App Store or in Google Play for Android. Comments are welcome on all of our streaming channels. You can also text us at 773-888-2157. Regular charges may apply. You can see all of our past shows on the GarrForce Live YouTube channel. That's also the best place to stream along with the Garry Meier Show Cocktail Hour Live each week. Please take a moment now to click subscribe on YouTube. It's free. Click the little bell icon next to the subscribe button to be notified when our shows are live. It really does help the show if you like and share on your favorite social media channels too. If you've done that already, thanks. Now, fasten your seatbelts, it's time to go wheels up on the GarrForce Live.
Thank you, Alan Dolenka. Appreciate it. It's all good. Having a cocktail, talking about Cuba. That's what we do here on Fridays. That Manhattan tastes pretty damn good. Let me take a moment here to kick the tires and light the fires. I clean the gutters. That doesn't have anything to do with Wheels Up, but I clean the gutters. I have a lot of nervous energy lately, so I'm a whirling dervish, whatever that word is, of activity. And I need to let it out, and that's what I've been doing. So I'm leaf blowing, I'm weed whacking, the final moments of the season of that. And I want to say hello to the people that are checking in right now. Oh, Leslie Kyling is checking in. There she is. Doug and Stephen and Scott and David and Daniel has installed solar panels at his house in Loves Park, Illinois. He's gone green. Good job. Thank you for doing that, Daniel. David R. is in the house. Martin from British Columbia. Simon and Marianne from Dubuque, Iowa. Johnny from Michigan. I'm asking Johnny from Michigan to do a Michigan report if you'd like to. I want to do all 50 states. That's my goal. And Deb from Des Plaines, Illinois. Patty, Chris, Brian, and Mary from Lake Tomahawk, Wisconsin. I wonder if Ryan, our Wisconsin reporter, knows where that's at. Jerry and Marianne and everybody, thank you for being part of the GarrForce Cocktail Show. And Paul is in Woodstock, Illinois. Okay, I'm very excited about my guest today because we've been friends for a long time, and I have not really seen him in a long time. First of all, before I bring my guest on, let me say hello to Leslie because she has to really officially start the show by removing the wine condom.
And today it's another flat top Sauvignon Blanc. And once again, it looks like we got some pressure.
Watch
on
it.
top here.
Ouch. Don't poke it. Here we go. But what? Oh, that popped real good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What are you're pouring the? What are you pouring again?
I'm pouring a Sauvignon Blanc into my official Leslie Kyling GarrForce glass,
That
given to me
Alan
by our
sent
own
you.
Alan Delinka.
Yes. Okay. Ryan will be up a little later to talk about Wisconsin. And how's everything with you, Leslie?
Doing just fine. I did not clean gutters today. It snowed here in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah. Okay. I did that yesterday because I know what's coming, and all the patio furniture is put away. It's over as far as anything related to summer and fall in my head. We're heading into it now, full holiday, whatever.
Our neighbor has the projector going on the side of his house, so there are gingerbread men and snowmen and all sorts of Christmas decorations already.
I saw a house with their Christmas tree, and it's that blinking light situation, and that was going yesterday. And I'm thinking, a little too early, but I can't stop it now. Who's this?
Oh,
This is Santa.
That's Santa.
Where's that at? Unmute yourself, Alan.
That would help, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I only meant to unmute and not turn on my camera, but that was this afternoon at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
So they have kicked it off officially.
It started right after Halloween, the night after Halloween. They took all the Halloween stuff down, put up all the Christmas stuff, and they're going full force.
Many years ago, my wife and daughter and I went to Disney World, and they had this, was it the MGM lot or whatever they called that?
Yeah, the Disney's Hollywood Studios park used to be the Disney MGM Studios park. And then there was contracts and licensing, and Disney changed its name.
Okay, but they had decorated this street. It had these faux houses and everything, and about 4 million lights, and it was done up to the nines as only Disney can do it.
So that street is now where Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is, another place I was today. There's stormtroopers on that street now.
Right.
And Disney
There
last
goes
year,
the neighborhood.
that's right. Disney last year donated 1 million plus lights to Give Kids the World Village, the charity down in Kissimmee that provides wish trips to critically ill children and their families. And I was at the media preview for that the other night. And the lights are very similar to how they used to look that you remember at Disney MGM Studios, Disney's Hollywood Studios, whatever you want to call it. It's just fun little light shows. They do all sorts of wacky stuff. Yeah.
That reminds me, we're very close to the ABC show Light Fight. And these people have they probably started in August, and now these hosts will show up and pretend like they're going to win, and then they don't, and it's depressing. I think they should split the prize money up, and everybody wins, because really, these people are so into it, and then they don't win anything. But that's for a few weeks from now. We'll talk about that.
Has ABC gotten back to you about your Halloween light fight?
Well, they should. Yeah, they should do Halloween. People are decorating as much for Halloween as Christmas, so get into that. Have another 4 weeks of programming there. I guess they don't want to preempt Dancing with the Stars. You don't want to lose that gem. Speaking of watching something on television, I watched a little bit of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It was on last night, and you realize when they're getting the aliens to land, they're basically doing a musical exchange that was the same musical exchange that Tom Hanks had in Big. And that's what attracts aliens? Really? Are you kidding me?
Well, and then weren't there hand signs like they're going to even understand what our hands are?
Right. And they're both doing the do-do-do-do and back and forth. And it's basically a big light board. It looks like the dance floor of Saturday Night Fever. And that's what brought the aliens down. After all these years, that's what they would be attracted to? I don't think so. All right. Let's bring this man on, because we were talking to him a few minutes ago, and he said, okay, I don't want to wait too long because I got to lie down. Mr. Richard Lewis.
What an introduction. Not mine, the show. It was, Timothy Leary would have gone to Betty Ford if you watched that. So I want to congratulate whoever put that together.
That's Alan. Alan does all that. And yes, he does a fine job.
Yeah, well, I try to make it my point to be on. I haven't done a show in over a year because I've had a couple of back and shoulder surgeries, but this is my first. I try to do, even when I'm healthy, try to do as many shows that people are drinking, considering I'm a drug addict and an alcoholic.
Oh.
I like that. That's exciting. And I also like to be on with people who have helped my career for over 40 years, or say 38. I don't want to age you. You've been one of the most important people in my career. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that. And you came on our radio show many years ago, and we immediately clicked as just humans and friends and things right away. And you and I hung out, and whenever I'm in Los Angeles, I like to hang out with you because I just find you a fascinating person and one of the funniest people I've ever seen on stage.
Well, send my love to your wife and your daughter. How is your dog?
Dog Flynn is great. We have a Labradoodle.
We had to talk you into getting a dog. You were really
when I was in Los Angeles a few years ago, you had just gotten a dog, and I thought you were the last person to get a dog, and you could not be happier with this dog. And I thought, wow, I never thought I'd see this. And then we got a dog, and I can't imagine my life without a dog now. Now, your dog died, right? Your first dog?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. But then we got another one. And then, but if either one of these girls were maybe 5'5" and wore heels, I would go to Paris with them, and that would be the end of it. They listen to me. I talk to them. I tell them what movies I want to watch. They don't bitch. They lick me. It doesn't get any better.
It's all the stuff you love.
That you don't get in real life, mainly.
Okay. I have to correct something. I thought you were on Curb Your Enthusiasm this Sunday, but you're on in December.
Early December. I only did one episode this year, and I think it's the second or third week in December. And it was great that I even was able to go there for a week and work. But it'll be a great year, and I'm just selfishly hope he comes back next year. But it's been on since 2000, so I'm a pretty grateful actor. So if he doesn't come back, it's been a great run. So,
Well, he has usually put you in at least half the episodes every year, but because, let's address the 800-pound medical bill in the room. You have shoulder and back issues that started how long ago?
They started when I was about 2. And and my family didn't want to help me. So I had to ask strangers in the street to diagnose me. It's a horrible story. And yes, that's basically true, but I have a bad back. Everyone has a bad back. I hate to scare anybody. But when you get after your 60s and early 70s, your discs start to melt and you start shrinking. It's like that. What's that movie with the guy? He starts as a man, then he ends like a baby. I didn't see it.
Benjamin Button.
Oh yeah, I couldn't. The name got me nauseated.
Okay,
but I became that. I mean, when I went to the hospital, they weigh you and they put you and they take your height, and I went, this can't be. I used to be 5'9.5". No, Mr. Lewis, you're 5'1". My wife almost left me. I'm not 5'1", but you do shrink, and that sucks.
You said earlier, you said you were 3'1".
I had a back operation, and this is the wildest trip, man. My shoulder was so bad. They said, I never heard of this before. The doctor says, and he's like, the guy. Everyone says that out here. You have a bad knuckle? I got the knuckle guy. You got it, and everyone thinks they go to the best. Your nostril hair? I got a nostril hair guy. I go, he won't. So I had to go to a reverse shoulder guy. He put my shoulder in backwards. That was my only option. So for the first month, if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to take some Chinese food. I don't know why I mentioned Chinese food, but I would take the food and then I would eat it, pouring it over my head and my hair, because your shoulder's backwards. Everything was all screwed up. But it helped our relationship, Joyce and my wife and I, because when I got backwards, I became saner for some reason. It helped me emotionally. But I'm going to be fine. I'm getting much better. But this is the first show I've done in a year. That's why I'm wearing sunglasses, because I'm too embarrassed to feel like myself yet. But I'll be back.
Is this health issue related to when you played football at Kent State?
Ohio State.
You went to Ohio State. Yeah,
Ohio State, which is ranked number 4 in the country, and they'll win tomorrow. But I'm a big Buckeye, and they always. I email everybody from Ohio. It was the best time of my life. I mean, I went there in the late 60s. It was horrible. The Vietnam thing was going down for many years before and after, but the rock and roll and the free love and you're drinking. I don't even remember what I did, but I'm alive. I actually stopped drinking and doing drugs knowing that you were going to call me in 40 years. I wanted to come through for you.
You said that was the best time of your life.
Yes.
40 years ago.
Well, 1967, 68.
Yeah, 50 years ago, you peaked?
I peaked with enjoyment. I hadn't started my career yet. But anything, I mean, what's better? I mean, Carnegie Hall, shows, sitcoms, all that stuff, you know, is that as good as getting loaded and going to see Cream in concert? I don't know. What do I know? You know, but I had a blast, and I got a degree though that was in business, you know, and I wound up getting screwed over by 300,000 agents. So the diploma was worthless. I mean, it was really worthless. But you know, the Wisconsin cat who comes on later, I was just free associating. I used to open up for big celebrities when I was young, and I hated it. I really hated it, like Sonny and Cher. It was frightening. I don't even know how I had enough balls to do it. You know, we were doing 15,000 people in a Madison Square Garden type venues, and I wasn't that well known. And in France, not in Montreal, the guy went, "There's a little Jew down by the." I mean, they had no idea what I was even supposed to do. I thought I was a tumbler, you know. So I got drunk in Montreal, and I had a bad show. And Sonny Bono said, "You're a little loaded, weren't you?" I said, "Yeah, well, you try to do spoken word in front of 20,000 people. Are you out of your mind?" But somehow I pulled it off. So the last time I ever opened up for a big celebrity, was in Wisconsin. They had 15,000 people on a hill drinking and eating out of picnic baskets. And, you know, they're making about 200,000, not that they didn't deserve it, a couple of $100,000 a night. I'm getting $500 a week. I had to do a half hour. I was always petrified. I was breaking out. I had rashes growing out of my head like trees. It was horrible. And I always used to go to the venue to see what it was going to be like. So, and Sonny and Cher would get there 5 minutes before and go right on. I'm there an hour before, and I'm making $25 or more than that. But, you know, I'm not making much money. So Bono comes in and he says, "Louis, you're looking at the venue, right?" I go, "Yeah. Why are you here? So you don't go on for an hour." He says, "I came here to see the fear in your eyes." And that got me so pissed off that I went on. This is the truth. 15,000 people. I destroyed them, and it was still light out. And that's murder for when you play outdoors. If it's still light out, there's so many distractions. But I destroyed that mountain. And when I walked back to my hotel, I said, I will never again open up for anyone unless people want to see me. And I never did. And that was like 1977. I said, I'm not going to be a custodian for anybody. That's that. But at least I went out on decent terms. But that was a scary time. I mean, you had to do everything they threw at you.
If I take nothing else out of this conversation, it will be, you try to tumble when you're drunk in front of 15,000 people.
Well, I did take an Uta Hagen, she's a tumbling class in Hollywood, and I was a method tumbler. You know, I'm a method actor.
Look
so
at the Jew
feeling.
tumble. Look at the Jew tumble. Come to see Sonny and Cher, but stay for the Jew tumbling.
Don't leave yet. Please don't leave. Louis will be tumbling right near your seat. So,
oh my God.
So anyway, I'll let you know when I'm on Curb in December, and but I'm happy to see you and your gang. You know, who came up with GarrForce?
I did.
Was that a dream?
I did. I thought, well, GarrForce, yeah.
So it came to you like the Beatles, like, you know,
exactly.
In your dreams.
I wanted to call it scrambled eggs, as they said, and Paul McCartney came up with yesterday. He called it scrambled eggs initially, and that's how it started.
You know, I don't even have that.
I don't mean to be drinking in front of you because I know you're.
Oh no, I have almost 28 years sober. The last thing I will ever do is drink or use again. But I like when people drink. When I used to go out and bring people to restaurants, I always felt that they would look at me like, we shouldn't do that. I would order wine and champagne for the table. because I'm not a drug cop. I'm just, I was going down. So now I'm alive. It's cool. No, I'm not unhappy about it.
I saw.
What's that picture behind you? Is that a squid?
No, it's kind of the logo. That's
a logo of your show.
Yeah.
Oh, now the force.
Yes, be with you. I saw
I'm very impressed with the introduction. I still can't shake it.
He's very good, Alan. And this is not his
forte.
He was a lawyer. He retired, and he dabbles in this, but he's very good at this. And I'm thinking, if Saturday Night Live gets a whiff of this, he's gone. He's going to dust me like you wouldn't believe.
He's on the next train to New York, man.
Yeah, and I don't blame him.
Does he take compliments well? My first instinct when I saw him was he wouldn't.
Oh, that's nice. No,
I'm very appreciative. Thanks, Richard. I do appreciate the kind words.
Oh, you really do? You're a lucky man that you can. So you don't really battle with low self-esteem then, apparently.
How was that as a Larry David?
What kind of areas disturb you the most?
What's that?
What kind of areas really wreak havoc on your esteem?
I had enough problems practicing law after 20 years that I said enough of that.
Oh, that's nothing. I'm talking about skin and sexuality and intimacy. Never mind. It's a whole other area. When you're talking about a law school, you're lucky. That's all. If that's as deep as it gets, you're a lucky man.
Let me ask you this, Richard.
Anything.
Because of the Chappelle thing, and you haven't been on the road for a long time, but it seems like the winds have shifted as far as stand-up comedy. You could really hit a tripwire doing just about anything. And I'm always of the belief that comics should be the people that take all of society's whatever and then put it into their lens and push it out and make it fun, because just about everything that we have to go through can be a burden. And the comics out there, they're the ones that can make it look like it's not a burden. And now that's a problem.
I don't watch. I never, you know this, when I was, working, I stopped 2 years ago after my 50th year. I said, I've had enough. And it was the best tour of my career. And I ended in Chicago and LA, because I said, I'm done. I'm done expressing myself, because I expressed my feelings. I wasn't that, talking about society as much in politics. I did, but it was mainly about me. It was sort of a self-centered show. But I never used to watch other comics shows. I rarely did, or except they were good friends or specials, because I was purely a very ethical guy, and I didn't want to hear any words that would stick in my brain or premises that might not have even been good, but I could have made better. And so even today, I know there's some really well-known, there's a whole slew of great comics, and all of the different types: edgy, observational, cheap jokes, thieves. It's just like the old days. It's just there are plenty of good ones. And some people wrote me yesterday or 2 days ago. They said, "Did you see Chappelle's concert?" I said, I haven't seen the other 5. I said, why do you want me to see it? And they said, well, you got so much heat. And I knew about the heat. And I watched it last night with my wife. And I don't know what the other 5 were like. I would imagine it wasn't mostly, rapping about, the LGBTQ community and all that. And he must have gone into a lot of subjects. But I felt that he was a master at his craft. I felt that way. I felt that he was very authentic. I wasn't offended. I gathered, because I didn't hear the big problems that preceded it, that he was trying in his own comedic style to apologize is the wrong word. I looked at it. I said, I probably should have seen some of his earlier work. I saw his Comedy Central stuff, and a lot of that stuff is brilliant. And so he's capable of being hilarious. But, last night was a different kind of special. It was like, I'm famous, I'm rich, I've been beaten up now, they're punching down on me, and I want to get even. And I didn't find it too nasty. I wasn't offended. And the bottom line is, it's the First Amendment, and no one has to watch anybody, let alone Dave, although he's a pretty brilliant guy when I've seen parts of his stuff. So, I told the people that called me, I said, I enjoyed it. I didn't find anything offensive. Everybody can find something offensive with almost anybody. Right now, there could be 8 people that want to hang me. I mean, I've said nothing. So, I mean, it's like when I used to be on Twitter, and when I am on Twitter, but I would say something. Someone would write, "Gee, Richard," and I don't mean to boast. "Oh, we've been following you ever since Carson and Letterman, and you helped us through some dark times." And I said, "Well, thank you." I would write back, "Thank you very much." And then I would do something about Trump, and the same people would go, "You Jew bastard," sort of like.
Well,
which has happened.
The tripwires are out there.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about Curb a little bit here. The theme so far is Larry has a guy that ends up drowning in his pool, and then the person who drowns' brother basically blackmails Larry to hire his daughter to be in a show that Larry's producing. And is that going to be the whole theme for the whole? How many episodes are there this year?
There are 10 episodes. My house would blow up if I even told you, but I knew the outlines a year and a half ago, but I don't know them anymore. Once I knew that I couldn't be in it, I was a little depressed, to be quite frank. So, but yeah, no, he is putting on, as of last week, he is putting on this play, and he's trying to, avoid getting, screwed over by that fence that he didn't put around his swimming pool. But, I've seen some episodes and they're hilarious. I mean, look, what can I say? I mean, he's my oldest friend. We were born in the same hospital, and there's so many, it's all over the world, this show. It's the thing about Larry, which is sort of amazing when you think about it, in our generation and other generations before mine, at least, is that he had Seinfeld and then he backed it up with this. Then again, when you think of Norman Lear, he had like 7 things going at once, or guys like Chuck Lorre, he has 29 sitcoms now. So, I mean, but the quality of Norman Lear and Larry you can't beat it. I think he's sort of the Norman Lear of his generation.
It seems to me like Curb is Seinfeld dark, in that Larry can go into areas that they couldn't do on broadcast television. Right. The episode that completely locked me in, as far as Curb goes, his wife's aunt dies.
Yeah.
And Larry is told to put the obituary in for his wife's aunt.
The beloved aunt.
Which he does. And then he comes home as his wife has gathered her relatives, and he walks in and they're all crying, looking at the newspaper. This is brilliant, I think. And what's wrong? What's wrong? And she goes, Did you see this? This is the obituary that you sent out. He goes, "What's wrong with it?" And he reads it, and it's not beloved aunt, it's beloved cunt, because they had a typo and aunt became the C word. I mean, who thinks like this?
No, he's that. What about the survivor? The Holocaust survivor. The guy was just on the TV show Survivor. I mean, he goes dark. He used to be. His stand-up used to be somewhat like this, but he couldn't handle audiences, which is it's not a good thing if you're a performer. So he basically puts his it's like Woody stopping stand-up when he was young and putting his voice through a lot of characters. And I think Larry does the same in some regard. But, I was just free associating in my mind. I was thinking of one episode that I really liked a lot. It's called the Bracelet. And it had a lot of different layers to it, but we wound up helping a blind man move his furniture. And this actor, whose name escapes me, he was a terrific actor. He was, when we took a break and went back to our wagons and there was lunch, he walked around the entire day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. blind. He was walking into people. He was trying to get his lunch without looking at it, and he was pouring food over people's plates. I said, "Boy, this is a method actor. This guy really went." He never opened his eyes for 14 hours. But there's been a lot of great episodes. I mean,
it really is. It's classic. I mean, I like that kind of humor, as you know. That's why you and I
Yeah,
are friends,
sure.
because it's not the norm. It's off to the side somewhere, and that's what I like. And your stand-up was not what other stand-ups are doing. That's why I was so fascinated by seeing you the first time. I thought, I've never seen this kind of humor on stage,
No, thanks.
because it's really you, and you're filtering all of your maladies and psychosis and everything else into making it some kind of entertainment, which is it's not as easy as it sounds.
No, I don't know how I did it. I did do that somewhat, and a lot of people would say, "Hey, I'm nuts too. Thanks a lot. Love you." I mean, that they felt good about what I did. I feel good about the path I chose, and and I'm able to do that again with Larry. I mean, for 20 years, I've been 12 seasons, or 11 seasons, but I'm playing me, and it is me. There's no question about it. But Larry puts me in situations where I can humiliate myself, and I like to humiliate him. We just try to humiliate one another all the time. In fact, there's he was on Jimmy Kimmel 3-4 weeks ago, and it's easy to find, and he was great. And he showed a 28-second clip of the episode that I'm in, and
He wishes you would die, I think, in that.
Yeah, he said, right? When are you going to die? When are you going to die already? I can't take you. You depress me. When are you going to die? And Kimmel said, I was the only person in the world that he could say that to, because we have such a strong friendship. But it was, I don't know what he's going to say. I just knew we were sitting at this scene, and the only thing we were told that we start talking loudly and argue, action. And then I started mocking him. He started mocking me, and he got so sick of me. He says, "When are you going to die already?" And it took me by surprise, but it was a great line. It's when I'll tell you what, it's maybe inside baseball, but if there's like a lot of cameras shooting 3 or 4 people at the same time, there's always a camera on an LD. And he's like really, he edits with the editor. He writes with the outline with 1 or 2 with the director, and it takes months and months. So when we're shooting, he knows he's doing 3 things at once. One thing he says in his head, "Is this funny? Will this make the cut?" The other thing is, "You're getting off the subject. We're wasting our time," and then he thinks about the editing. This guy's doing 3 things at once. So sometimes if someone gets way off the beaten track, he says, that's the only time we'll get notes. He'll say, don't talk about you went to the circus with your father and whatever. He says, we don't need it. And he has such a great instinct for what works. So it's really been a trip, man. I appreciate you liking the show. It's, I always felt, Garry, too, that, I'm like, I didn't want to be liked by everybody. I don't want to be that kind of comedian. I wanted people to go, "I don't get him. He's obnoxious. He's neurotic." Or else some people go, "God, I love that guy." That's what I think down deep wanted to be. I didn't want to be liked by everybody. First of all, I couldn't be. And number 2, it would mean I would be so bland. We hate those kind of comedians. I don't hate them. Who wants to be that way? And you're one of the most authentic radio personalities ever, because you're you, and you don't want to be bland, and you never were. And
thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, it's true.
I did see your first appearance on Carson, because the Carson show runs on Antenna TV. And several months ago, the episode that was your first appearance on Carson came up. And this is way before I knew you. Even then, you were so unique and had now done something that I had never seen before from a stand-up comic. So I just wanted to put that little compliment on your shoulders. But you are now a man living under the H in Los Angeles of the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
That's how far you've come. You live near the Hollywood sign, you said, and I said, which letter? And you said H. That's the best neighborhood.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, Y is not good. Y is bad.
I did H subconsciously for help. My wife knows that. I always look up there and I see the H, and I know that help is on its way. Do I have time for one Carson anecdote?
Yes.
I had this monologue for years on the division of motor vehicles, and it killed. It just killed, and it ran about 5.5 minutes. And I had, when you back in the old days in the 70s, you had to, oh God, you had to go in there with the tape and play it for the talent guy, the coordinator, and then he said, I don't like that joke, and forget another joke. It was just horrible. But you had to go through it before you had a name. And so he okayed the division of motor vehicles routine. And I get introduced, and Carson was on, and Burt Reynolds was there, and usually those studio audiences are pretty square, to be frank, in Burbank. But this audience was like me at Town Hall, at Carnegie Hall. I mean, it was almost like they were there to see me. And I was blowing them away with this monologue. And the laughs were so loud and long that I waited for them to dip, and then I went into the next line like a professional should. And midway through the monologue, I had no idea, no sense of time anymore. The stage manager went underneath the camera and went, and I had to make a decision on the spot. If I say goodnight now, midway through this monologue that I crafted for 10 years, I would never get on the show again. I would look like a mental case. So I said, I'd rather kill and go long and never go on again and have people say, why aren't you on with Johnny? I go, I was too good, man. I was just too funny. They don't want me. So I went long. The talent coordinator was screaming at me when I went backstage. He said, you'll never do this show again. And I was like, it was such a weird feeling. I mean, I killed, and yet I can't do the show again. So I used to go to the Palm restaurant after the Tonight Show, and I brought a date with me and my two agents. And I'm sitting there, I'm crestfallen, and I look right across from me, and the chances were 1,000,000,000 to 1 because Johnny lived in Malibu and this was Hollywood. Carson was there with his lawyer, and I was in shock. I still had the stage makeup on, and Carson did. And when I saw him, I darted over to Carson's booth. And again, the fact that he was at the Palm after the show in Hollywood and not at home or anywhere, any restaurant, was astonishing. It was a gift from the comedy gods. I ran over to him, and he got nervous. I got on my knees and I pleaded my case, and I said, I know I went long. You're a pro. I'm a pro. I couldn't end it in midway. You would have thought I was a moron. And he was just nodding his head. And the next day I get a call from that loudmouth talent coordinator. He says, you're a lucky man. You can come back whenever you want. And boy, that changed everything. Then from there I went to Letterman. But I mean, the odds, that was really I had luck, man. I had Carson, I had Dave, I had Jamie Lee Curtis, and then I had you guys. I mean, forget about you and a lot of radio personalities and other TV shows. But to have at 50 get asked by Larry to be on a show, you got to have luck. No matter how good you might be. And I had all the luck in the world.
This week,
and no small thanks to you either, Garry.
No, hey, I'm happy to be your friend and promote your deep, lovely comedy that I find so fascinating. And our show this week was talking about some of our favorite Richard Lewis moments, and Leslie said she's very fond of your parents' lovemaking because you would do this bit about your parents. Leslie, why don't you set that up? And
is she going to deliver the punchline? I recall it now.
Wait, Richard's here. Would you do the joke for us? I mean,
the joke is my parents were embarrassed for us to hear them screw. And we used to go down there. I used to have like Sherlock Holmes with a horn by the door trying to hear them screwing. I didn't want to see it. I was still a virgin, and I never would have had an erection if I saw it, but I wanted to hear them. So the joke was something like, when my father had an orgasm, he did something like this. He went, "Oh, that's gin," and that was the gin punchline. It's a 45-year-old joke. Don't hold me to it.
You know what? That's why you're so good, because it's still good when you do the punchline. And the other one that I mentioned was when you referred to your mother as a bowling alley with lipstick.
That's something that I never understood, that people like yourself said, that is so funny. And that was just an image I had because she was so loud when we went to any restaurant. She wanted to be the center of attention. And she would walk in and so embarrass me, go, Aunt Faye has a rash on her thigh. And she has gonorrhea. And I go, shut up. What are you doing? So I just imagine a bowling alley with lipstick. It means nothing except to people is
no. The image is dead on. It's dead on. And the other one was when you came to this nightclub I was invested in. You walked in, you looked around for about 30 seconds, and you said to me, "This looks like a gay shipwreck." And really,
hey, don't get me in trouble. I would go on a gay shipwreck in a minute.
No, I took it as a compliment. I think we need more gays in the mix because otherwise it's a very drab existence. But it had billowy fabric under the lights, and you just said gay shipwreck, and I'm thinking that's good.
I meant that in the nicest artistic way.
And I took it that way.
I hope so.
Oh God. Wow, you're amazing. I love you so much.
I love you too. And when I get better, I'll come back and be better.
All right. Well, we'll see you in December on Curb, and I'll have you.
I'll let you know when I'm on the week before.
Yeah,
maybe you
I'll
can
talk
mention.
about that. Yeah.
How do I leave you? Do I press something?
I can kick you out of the studio if you want that, Richard.
You could do that because the dressing room sucked. There was no food or anything.
I know this virtual green room stuff just isn't what you're used to. I'm sorry.
No, it was like I felt like I was a prisoner of war, to be frank. But anyway, it's great to meet all you guys. Richard. Garry, I love you, and good luck with the show. And I'll be watching and listening. And I'll speak to you soon. Love to the three girls.
Thank you.
Is your dog a girl?
It's a male. He's a male.
That I wouldn't let him near my daughter. Was he fixed?
No.
You're kidding.
No.
God, so he's like a rapist?
Okay. And on that note.
All right, take care of yourselves.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God. I have so many moments with him, hanging out with him, and I'm thinking this is one of the great moments of what I do when I get to meet people like that and hang out with them. That's it to me. That's the whole monkey trick.
Well, and the fact that this has evolved too to an actual friendship, which is just kind of cool too, because it is funny, but I think you guys are wired very similarly, if you don't mind me saying so.
Well,
hey, before it gets too late, can we set up no, well, it's never too late. We can go as long as we want. We don't have some stage manager doing this to us. But should we set up the giveaway?
Yes, we have.
And I'm thinking like maybe hashtag Curb in honor of Richard today. But we're back to giving away a GarrForce scarf and a wine condom, kids. So if you want to start logging in, and of course, this is chosen by the computer. We have no control over the giveaway.
Hashtag Curb. Put that in there. And yes, the computer will pick in a few minutes the winner of the condom and the scarf. Yes, you're right.
There you go.
On that. We got we still got a lot to do here, and one of the things would be pay homage to the fine sponsors of the program, which we like to do every week, and that would be the great people at Bettenhausen Automotive. Let's do that one, Alan. What do you say?
The Black Friday sales event is going on all month long at Bettenhausen Ram on 159th Street in Tinley Park with 0% APR for 72 months plus $3,500 total cash. Power on with the strength of a Bettenhausen Ram truck. Your best Ram truck buying experience starts now at BettenhausenCDJR.com.
All right. And if you're looking to purchase a home, need a mortgage, you want to refi, and all the stuff that comes with doing different things with home purchases, this is the guy and his team. They know how to handle all that. They've been doing it for a long time. I've known him for many years. I love this man too. I have a lot of men that I love.
He's the one who made these scarves
He sugar daddied me with the scarves. He paid for the scarves. Yes, that's what David does. He gets things done. He saves you money. Those are the numbers on the screen there. Call them. A number of listeners have gotten their mortgages and refis from David, and they're very happy they did. The rate is still, I think, in the threes.
Really?
Yeah. Even though I drove by a gas station today. I don't know where you're buying your gas. I'm going to go to the dollar store from now on to buy my gas. It's heading into the $4 a gallon deal again.
I saw somebody posted a picture from a 7-Eleven with a gas station, you know, where the girls ride their bicycles and get big giant.
And intimidate
is that
you
where
with,
they get the Slurpees? Yeah.
with the Slurpee.
But the price of the gasoline was $7.11. So apparently their pumps weren't working, and that's what they just put up on the sign as like to
stay away.
A holder. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, people were starting to believe that was the real price of gasoline because it's going up so fast.
And yeah, that's not a good thing, but that's not what we're concerned with right now. Okay. We need to do, I think, the Wisconsin report, and then we're going to do some of your stuff. Okay, Leslie? Hey, Ryan.
Like a deal.
Hey, Gary. Hey, Leslie. How are you?
Hey, get this. Also, before we get too deep into the show, yesterday was Veterans Day, and I like to honor my father and all the veterans that have served. And we played the tape on yesterday's show that he did. And let me pull this picture up of him. There he is, Sergeant Frank Meier, Army Sergeant Frank Meier. He was all of 19, I think, there when he went into the service. It's hard to believe.
He's a good-looking man. A lot of hair, Gary.
Well,
now we know where you get it.
We got a lot of hair in the family. Our drains were clogged all the time. 6 kids with a lot of hair and 2 parents with a lot of hair. A lot of Drano. A lot of Drano. And your father, you want to show a picture of your father?
Yeah. Here's Paul.
And what was his branch of service and everything?
He was in the radio corps.
Really?
Yeah.
So
the apple didn't fall far from Daddy's tree. There you go, Paul.
Oh, cool.
Thank
you
for
happy
your
Veterans
service.
Day. I mean, it's one day, but it should be every day that we honor our veterans, and wanted to do that. Ryan, how are you?
Good. I think the 2 words this week are a little bit of snow today, and the ship has arrived. We got the Lego Titanic 50-pound box arrived yesterday. So there's Hank and my wife. At that point, we hadn't opened the box, and that was just really the ceremonial pictures. But we opened the box, and there's three kind of designer boxes in there. So
you've got 50 pounds of Lego bricks.
Yes, not including the Home Alone house that came earlier.
Okay, so you got the Home Alone house, and in that picture, I don't know if you noticed this, but there's the White House.
The White House. Yes.
In Lego bricks. So what are you, about 50,000 into Lego?
Yeah, two condos worth. 2 condos worth of Lego brick. I thought the White House would be much bigger. We got that for her birthday, and I thought it was going to be, big, and she put it together, and I said, that's it. But I guess
was going to say that's true if you take the tour of the actual White House. You feel like it should be much bigger.
Yeah, it's like that should be much bigger. So
all right, that's what she said. Okay, you have a report?
I do.
All right, Ellen, you want to rack that up?
Yeah, you'll need to give me a moment because I know, because I've had all sorts of issues today. I don't know if you've noticed them. But let's see
not with the show, just personally.
Richard,
let's see if I can get this to run.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Richard noticed right away he's got issues.
It's coming. Here it comes. There it is.
It's Wisconsin, yeah, hey.
Hey everybody, it's Ryan, and this week's update will not be around Aaron Rodgers or anything to do with the Packers. Instead, have you ever been to a wedding where you're having so much fun you don't want the night to end, and you don't want the DJ to stop playing music and pack up his stuff? Well, that's the good way to end. This, on the other hand, where the DJ felt threatened because the guests and the wedding party wouldn't let him pack up things and leave. He ended up having to call the police, who had came and talked to everybody. They said, hey, we're not threatening him. He's just a terrible DJ, played the wrong songs, and it was not a good wedding reception. Kind of a weird way to end the night off, but I guess the police stayed and helped the DJ pack up and get out of there. So hopefully the wedding party got their money back, is because the DJ didn't live up to standards. If you're looking for something to do at the end of the week, there's a lunar eclipse around the blood moon. It will happen on the 19th of November in the early hours between 3 and 4 a.m. I think this is just another way to mess with us. First they plunge us into the darkness, and now it's another lunar eclipse to mess with our body rhythms and get us off base. Isn't there enough things going on between this and the pandemic, and there's nothing on the shelves to buy, and everything's really expensive? Hey, and guess what? Christmas is coming too. Hope you have a good week, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, they didn't like the DJ?
No,
How can
they
you
said
be
he,
a bad DJ at a wedding?
they said he
Ladies
played
and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, and that's all you have to do, and then play some Black Eyed Peas and other dance music. What's so complicated?
I guess they played the wrong thing, and he was just a terrible DJ. I mean, and it aired. I saw it on a couple news stations, so I mean, it got a little bit of traction about this terrible DJ. And I thought, is there more to this story? But really, it was just kind of a bad DJ gone wrong, and they wouldn't let him leave until he played the right music they wanted. So
okay, and what would that be? What I mean, really?
More
chicken dance? The chicken
More
dance,
chicken dance.
the conga line. I don't know.
Chicken dance, yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
All
and
right.
we got a little bit of snow, so I think we're on to the Christmas boat.
I think
there
we
goes
are.
Gary's light.
Yes. Wow. Christmas doesn't like me right now because I'm not very pro Christmas. All right, Ryan. Thank you, and thank you. You sent me some cleaner for my phone.
Yeah, we have to keep the new phone clean. You know, you'll have it for another 10 years. So.
Oh my God. You might want to send me a light. And this cleaner, this is tell me what this is.
It's like the phone soap. That's one of the brands. You put your phone in there, and then it's got a little UV sanitation. So you got to keep your phone looking good. So
that's right. Damn it. All right.
Very high tech.
Yeah. So it's not the old alcohol wipes or that. It's zap it and move on.
That's what she said. All right. Okay. Well, when we're 52 minutes into the show and look at how much is left in the Manhattan, you know what's going on here.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And you were able to chill your wine this week out.
Yeah, Leslie
outside
put her
deck,
wine
right?
out in the snow. You had snow, and you put the wine out, and it's chilled.
It's looking good.
Yeah.
Tasting better.
Yeah, baby. All right. What do you have?
Big news today. Julian Assange is getting married, and it's not to Pam Anderson, who he dated for a brief while, or they were just very close. But anyway, British officials have given the WikiLeaks founder permission to marry his partner, Stella Morris, despite his current incarceration at London's high-security Belmarsh prison. The two first met while Assange was holed up at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, trying to avoid being extradited to Sweden on charges of sexual assault. Those charges were subsequently dropped. He's now fighting extradition to the United States on charges of espionage, but the love has endured. No date's been set for the nuptials.
Wow. I kind of forgot about that guy because I'm so involved with Aaron Rodgers right now and Alec Baldwin. I'm busy. I got these guys to worry about.
Well, and with the pandemic lockdowns, I mean, he was doing as well as the rest of us,
exactly.
Really.
Welcome.
But I love women who marry men in prison. I
I know.
I still can't wrap my head around that.
Charles Manson had marriage proposals all the time.
The Menendez brothers. Yeah, it's just, well,
because these women, I guess the psychology is these women feel they can fix them. That's their whole thing.
And he's not gonna, get bitchy if you get home late, because he won't know. Anyway, terminally ill man in England is in trouble with the law for adding mooning a traffic camera to his bucket list. 55-year-old Daryl Meekham is suffering from multiple organ failure, and realizing that his time is limited, he put together a bucket list of things he wants to do before he goes. One of those things was mooning the traffic camera that's caught him speeding a time or two. Law enforcement was not amused and sent 6 officers to arrest him. We don't really know what else is on the bucket list, but getting cuffed and dragged to jail definitely is not one of them.
God, how do you do that? I mean, you're driving and mooning, and how does that work?
I think he may have just been standing and mooning.
Oh, he got out of the car?
Oh, no. See, now I don't know.
Yeah.
Because driving and mooning, that would be dangerous.
Yes.
This is just, bad acting. But anyway, and the FAA is getting fed up with folks behaving badly on commercial airline flights, and they've decided to crack down on some of the worst offenders. 10 of the more than 5,000 disruptors cited this year are being slapped with additional hefty fines for their airplane shenanigans. Penalties include a $32,000 fine against a woman who refused to buckle up, then punched her husband and son for siding with the flight crew. She then threw some garbage at a flight attendant and stole cookies from another passenger. And in another egregious case, a passenger was ordered to pay more than $26,000 for trying to breach the cockpit of a Southwest Airlines flight and then punching a flight attendant who tried to stop him.
Did I hear this number right? 5,000 of these incidents in the last year and a half or so?
That would be more than 5,000, 5,130 some odd.
What the
and
hell is
there's
going
probably
on?
one going on right now.
Okay. Yeah, we need sharper teeth on this. You go to prison minimum 5 years if you pull this kind of crap. Boom, done.
And finally, babycenter.com just came out with its list of the most popular baby names of 2021. And for the first time in 11 years, Sophia is not in the #1 spot for little girls. Olivia has taken over that top spot, followed by Emma, Amelia, and Ava. Sophia drops to #5. #6 is Charlotte, 7 is Isabella, 8 is Mia, 9 Luna, #10 is Harper. And for the boys, Liam is the top name for the 3rd year in a row, followed by Noah, Oliver, Elijah, Lucas, Levi, Mason, Asher, James, and Ethan.
Okay, no Joe, Carl, or Tom in there anymore.
No.
The
Gary,
the
I
American.
think there were like 10 Garys born last year. That's all.
Exactly, and all of them with 1 R. Okay, well, I'm going to hold on to the 2 R's as long as I can. Hey, that's it. Thank you for listening. But we're going to give away the condom and the scarf. Yes, I know. We're going to do that right now. And Ellen's going to hit that computer button, and here we go.
All right, we'll put her on the screen. There we go. There we are.
All right, here it is.
And
#Curb and
3, 2, 1, draw. There's our winner.
Michael.
On Facebook. So send Garry a message on the page and provide your address, and Leslie will get that out to you.
All right. Congratulations, Michael. And just a programming note, we will have a show on Black Friday. It's going to be the Black and Hard show. Black Friday hard liquor. Black and hard is the theme. Black Friday hard liquor. Yeah. Because we work
because
here.
we're not going to be swimming out to the cargo ships to do our shopping this year.
No,
So
no,
we may
can't
as well
make it
sit
for
around
that.
and do this.
So we're going to have a show then, but that's in 2 weeks. Thanksgiving is in less than 2 weeks now, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be doing shows all through the holidays. Hey, have a great weekend. Thanks for listening. Time to take the cannoli. It's complimentary. Look at this cannoli. Look at it. Oh, yeah. Take that cannoli. What about the schnauzer, Leslie?
Take it into a bedroom and play gin with
That's gin. That's gin. 3 in the green, gear down, flaps down. The voice of the globe, the GarrForce. Talk to you on Monday. Has landed.
If you like that, I got other stuff I think you're going to like. This is the GarrForce